TGIF, everybody. Hope you are looking forward to a fantastic weekend. We're glad you're starting it with us here on Undisputed. I'm Jen Hale. That's Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Jen. Good morning.
Allow me to be the first to wish Michael Jeffrey Jordan a happy 60th birthday. Way to go.
You should have had some bronze.
Huh?
It's
Some bronze?
It's a new bronze.
Blasphemous?
There's a new bronze.
New bronze?
The 20th anniversary bronze, the low.
I'm retro.
Oh,
Here we go.
Well, guys, why don't we start right there
Yeah.
again today? Happy birthday, MJ, 60 years old. His airness made his big splash in the NBA in the dunk contest. And from there, he went on to win 10 scoring titles, 6 championships. Post-playing career, MJ has become even more of an icon with the global reach of course, his Jordan brand, which I'm going to bet you're wearing right now, Skip. How would you define Michael Jordan's impact? Let's start with you.
Shannon Sharp, we've talked hours and hours and hours on this show about Michael Jordan
yes.
as he compares to LeBron James. Mm-hmm. And I have said 1,001 times on this show that Michael Jordan is the rarest athlete I've ever encountered or closely observed. So here's the point today, as Jen just mentioned. When most ex-superstars turn 60 years of age, their fame is almost always fading.
Yes.
And Michael Jordan...
Or faded.
Faded. It's gone. It can be gone. Michael Jordan at 60 to me, correct me if I'm wrong, is bigger than ever.
Yeah.
He's even larger and larger than life because his legend somehow continues to grow. And I would like to thank LeBron James and you, Shannon Sharp, because I do believe that the Michael versus LeBron GOAT debate actually keeps Michael's name more relevant than ever because we talk about him, it seems like every day on this show. So as Jen pointed out, his sneaker line is hotter and hotter than ever with retros dropping, it seems like every other day.
Yes.
And you love them. You love your LeBrons, but you love these, and I live for them. And so the point is, he first wore the ones I just displayed, the ones in his rookie year. How many rookies have a shoe deal? I'll get to that in 1 second. But he wore them in 1984. We're almost 40 years later, and the legend grows.
Right.
So would you believe that about 6 weeks from today, a new movie is going to open called Air? Rarest Air, but it's Air, and it's about how Nike changed history by fighting to recruit Michael away from Adidas because he wanted to sign with Adidas. Right. And this movie is going to star Ben Affleck as Phil Knight, the CEO and impresario of Nike, and Matt Damon as Sonny Vaccaro, who was the sort of the Nike recruiter who brought him to Nike and went and knocked on the door of Michael's mother to say, hey, you need to do this. And Viola Davis, the great Viola Davis, is going to play Mrs. Jordan, Michael's mother. Yeah. So it's still happening. And Michael's timing has always been, to me, the rarest because it's magical. Because what happened when the pandemic hit and we're all locked inside and we needed something to take us away from the relentless sort of horror of the pandemic and right on schedule.
Everybody had cabin fever.
Cabin fever. And what happened? Here came, wait a second, The Last Dance? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We're interested in that. And it became, to me, even bigger than Tiger King was. And I don't know if you watched
I do remember Tiger King, yes,
but
absolutely.
that became its rival. And what was it about? It was really going behind the scenes with Michael Jordan in his final year in Chicago. Right. And he even prefaced it by saying, I'm not sure people are going to love me for this.
Right.
And
he knew.
He knew because you jumped all over it. We got to see the real Michael Jordan, the one I covered in 1998 in Chicago as the lead columnist of the Chicago Tribune. Not a nice guy behind the scenes.
Not to be like Mike guy that was advertised.
He's a ruthless cold-blooded, relentless basketball killer.
Yes.
And he drove his teammates nearly over the edge, but he drove them to championships.
He did.
Different ways to do it.
Yeah.
LeBron chooses another direction.
Yes.
LeBron's a really nice guy. Sometimes argue he's almost too nice of a guy.
Right.
And yet, somehow, Michael's legend grew. Somehow, I reflect back on his career and I say, right on time, he's a freshman at the school that you were the biggest fan of, North Carolina.
Yep.
And I was there in 1982 in New Orleans. I was courtside, and it was the greatest collection of college basketball talent I'd ever seen on one floor.
Yes.
Carolina versus Georgetown. And who hits the game winner?
Yeah.
The kid made
Right.
it. And at that point, he was Mike Jordan,
Right.
and he became, after that night, what he was,
Right.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, you had 2  number 1 overall draft picks, Patrick Ewing and James Worthy. I think Jordan went 3rd overall. I think Sam Perkins went top 5. they were loaded. And you had Sleepy
Floyd,
Sleepy
who
Floyd was in
became
that
a
draft.
very good NBA scorer. And everything seemed right on time all the way up to the 87 dunk contest when Michael was the first one to take off from the free throw line. Now it's just sort of commonplace, but he took off and it became that flying pose where it looked like he was literally flying.
It was pose, Skip, because if you remember, I think it might have been 77. Dr. J took off from the free throw line.
But somehow it didn't capture the imagination
it was
like
Jordan
this.
when he took off because he had the ball like this, and it was almost like he was flying.
He was flying, and right on time came. Do you remember? You're certainly old enough to remember this. The Mars Blackman Nike ads.
It's got to be the shoes.
It's Spike Lee, and he's kind of sitting on Michael's shoulder like a little spirit, you know. And money, it's got to be the shoes. Well, it is. It's got to be the shoes, and it was the perfect branding of what became Jordan Brand because kids started thinking, if I buy those sneakers, I can fly.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And all of a sudden, that even took off. And then here came, it was, 96? Michael was the first, to me, the first superstar athlete to break completely out, to cross completely over, and to star in his own Disney movie. I mean, it's a cartoon movie, as you know. It's Space Jam.
A lot of CG because he's in there with animation.
But it was revolutionary.
Yes.
So here he went again. He's crossing over, breaking through, right on time. I'd never seen anything like that. I actually really liked it.
Right.
We went back and forth about LeBron. He pulled his off, okay? But the actors that I knew up to that point who'd been ex-athletes were Jim Brown, who had some pretty big roles.
Yeah, the Dirty Dozen.
He was pretty great.
Absolutely.
100 Rifles. I love that. I don't know if you remember that. But the point was that, and even O.J. Simpson, I know he's known for other things, but he was pretty great as an actor.
Yeah.
He could hold his own.
Yeah. He was the first athlete, Skip, black athlete to have commercial success.
Yeah.
I mean, with the Hertz and the orange juice.
For those old enough to remember, what a force O.J. was before that happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
Michael, he just transcended all of that with this.
Yes.
And then, obviously, he goes to 6 finals and he wins all 6, and he's got 6 MVPs, and he's got the walk-off moment at Utah in Game 6. It's like you couldn't script it better. So this is just me. In my life and times, the many years I've been closely observing sports and loving sports with all my heart and soul, for me, this is just my side of the table. There have been 3 transcendent figures in sports who, on rare competitive drive, rose above all the rest. And there are many, many great ones, including LeBron James and Kobe Bryant. I can go on. But for me, it was Ali.
Okay.
Then it was Jordan.
Tiger.
And now it's Tiger. And listen, what Tiger Woods did yesterday, birdieing the last 3 holes, I know a lot of people don't love golf, but at Riviera, having not played a second of competitive golf after nearly killing himself in a car wreck 2 years ago right here after this tournament, to go out there and compete with Rory McIlroy and Justin Thomas in that grouping and to birdie the last 3 holes to climb back into contention at -2. It was just extraordinary because it's just who he is. It's who he's always been. It's rare air that all those 3 were in. But for me, this is just me, maybe because I had the privilege and honor of getting to know him in Chicago and being around him a little bit. Not the nicest guy. I'll be the first to tell you. Not LeBron off the court. Right. Didn't care about the off the court impact. He is the most supreme. He rises above even Ali and Tiger as the greatest competitor ever and the rarest athlete ever. And again, I'm dumbfounded that he has just turned 60 years of age and he is still more relevant than ever.
Yeah, he is. I think the thing for me, Skip, is that I'm listening and I can't disagree with anything that you said. But if you notice what you said he won 6 championships and you said he won these many MVPs and he did this and he did that. That was the last thing that you mentioned. Because I believe he's most known for the shoe.
Okay.
It became a cultural phenomenon.
Obviously, the championships drove the popularity of the shoes, but go ahead.
But Skip, it was the colorway. Normally, you got a black shoe, you got a white shoe, but you didn't have the combination.
No.
And then the way he played, you're absolutely right. He was almost like he was levitating. He was flying through the air. What his shoe did, it was okay. You see people wear sneakers with tuxedos. That was black. You better not come in here with a suit and some sneakers on.
He did that.
He did that. He made it okay because the shoe, the Concord, the black and the white, Skip, and the cool grays and the colorways that he put together, it was just like you had to have that shoe. You were not a kid or cool kid, and my mom moved heaven and earth to get me that shoe. A $65 sneaker?
What did you get first?
The two.